fine, by successfully.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the channel. Welcome to Serena WW Space, where we talk about productivity, lifestyle, and law. And please introduce yourself.
Okay, well, at least you know me. My name is Tessie Akwadamasi. I'm a lawyer called to the Nigerian bar, and I have my master's degree from Loyola Marymount University. That's my LLM, and I'm currently doing my doctorate. So pretty much that's it.
Okay, so the next question will be, when did you move abroad and what was your reason? Like, speaking to the young Nigerian that wants to travel abroad.
So I moved in 2022. Yes, I got an admission from Loyola Law School. By the grace of God, I got my visa and I moved in 2022. So I really just wanted to do my master's, maybe somewhere new, have better opportunities generally. That was it for me.
Yeah.
A strictly planned move. It just happened as I was trying. Everything was going into place, and it just happened like that.
Okay. Also, how did you move abroad, and what area did you practice as a lawyer abroad?
Give me 1 second. My reminder just came on for the meeting. So
I knew mine as well came on here too.
I'm trying to turn it off.
I think that's an idea to young people, to make sure you schedule every meeting.
Yes. So yes. What was the question?
Okay, so the question was, what aided you in traveling abroad and aided your practice as a lawyer abroad as well?
Okay, so really I have not been practicing for the last 2 years.
Oh, okay.
I can't make a court appearance, or my practice is very restricted to preparation of document and processing.
Wow.
I definitely will not be able to appear since I'm not in Nigeria. But yes, I think being an attorney, okay, that's what they call them. Being a lawyer already kind of helped. It was like, raise your standard a little bit. So when you're applying and you already have like your call to bar, you're already working, having your legal experience, applying for the master's is pretty easy. Yes, it's quite easy to get admissions for your LLM here. I mean, if you have good grades, and you have a strong background, you should normally get those admissions. So the challenge people face. Yes, go ahead.
You were saying, are you trying to tell us that there's a difference between a solicitor and an attorney over there?
Yes. So in Nigeria, we are solicitors and barristers and solicitors of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. But here, the word they used to address a lawyer is attorney. So nobody will call you counsel, attorney. Yes. So when, for instance, if I want to introduce myself, I'm an attorney, I wouldn't say I'm a lawyer. Compared to Nigeria, where you say you're a lawyer, because we don't say attorney, we say solicitor or lawyer, and then we have our attorney general. But here, attorney.
Okay. So the next question will be, what will be your legal advice? This is not for those people that are looking for free consultation. No, you left it. So what will be your advice for people that want to get a JD or an LLM? Will you advise people to get a JD or an LLM if they are going abroad?
Okay, so a JD is technically your LLB, your 4 years in university. So, personally, I think I would say go for an LLM. You already have a JD equivalent. You already have your call to bar. And if you go for the LLM, you are still able to take the bar exam if you are approved to take the bar exam. So you don't need a JD to take the bar exam, except you do not have a paralegal background. But if you do have a legal background, you just really need to you could just do your LLM. And then when you want to take the bar, like for California where I am, you do your initial application. You have to get a letter of good standing from the bar in Nigeria. You have to send them your documents, and they evaluate you and tell you if you're qualified to write the bar exam. And if they say you're qualified to write the bar exam, then you apply to write the bar exam. So
Lovely.
You don't really need, if you intend to practice here, you don't really need a JD. A master's degree is fine because you already have your LLP. I feel like to be you starting over, well, at the end of the day, it boils down to the person, what they want to do. But for me personally, I did masters, I didn't do a JD. So that's fine. But if you're coming to maybe you don't have an LLB and you got an opportunity to come abroad for your first degree or something, yes, you can do a JD. It's fine then. But
so your advice to immigrants would be that they should get a LLM if they already have a bachelor's degree.
If you already have your bachelor's in law, then yes, I would advise you just to do the master's. Yes.
Okay. So how is the abroad grading system? I hear that the abroad grading system is way different from here in Nigeria, that their own is a lot extreme, like it's more extreme and all of that. So what do you think?
I don't know if I would say extreme, but the grading system really varies per school. For some schools, maybe their passing grade would be C. Some schools maybe D. Most schools will most likely be a C. But I do not think it's extreme. Their education system here is very different from ours. You are able to speak with your professors, send emails to your professors. You could, the classes are always recorded. You could go back and rewatch a previous class if you need to refresh or there was something you did not understand. So I don't think it's extreme per se. I wouldn't say extreme. You just need to know what you're doing. That's pretty much it.
Basically, rather than work hard, work smart. Would you recommend that? Okay, exactly. And also scheduling, like everything that made you successful as a student in Nigeria can apply abroad.
Can apply abroad, definitely. If you have questions, send an email to you. You could ask questions in class, like they encourage that there's this, free flow between professor and student. They are not, in some basic Nigeria setting, you'd be very worried to approach your professor, but here it's not like that. If it's something that you cannot address in class, you book an appointment, you have a Zoom call like this and discuss what you want to discuss. So it's not, everything applies. It's just the same thing. Read your books, buy your texts, pay attention to your lecturer, follow the rules and the guidelines. So that's it. It's not really extreme in reality. It's just the same thing. The same principles apply.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much, Barrister Tessie. I still have 3 more questions to go. Yeah. So how do you now balance? Because I hear that a lot of immigrants have to balance work life and school life. So if you use that part as a form of getting greener pastures and all of that, so how do you now balance work and school life? Getting a part-time job alongside getting your LLM or your JD?
This
And
one,
also, you advise students to live in or off campus, so like 2
we
months.
don't. I don't think there's on campus living. You mostly live off campus. Mostly, what some people, have built apartments around universities. So you have like a semi-hostel apartment where a lot of students might be, but there is no living on campus. It's not really common to find living on campus. Off campus is usually what goes for us here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the second to the last question. Okay, the balance. Okay, you didn't speak about the balance.
Yes. So, as an immigrant with a student visa, you are entitled to a limited amount of time to work. It could be 20 hours a week, it could be 15 hours, it depends, but never 40 hours. You cannot work full time as a student because it's like it messes up with your ability to focus on your schoolwork, which is the reason for you being there in the first place. So it all depends, and then these are things you have to check with your school guidelines, because if you work more than you're supposed to or without proper permission to, it could get you in trouble, So if, for instance, after your study you want to try to remain here to work or something, or apply for your papers, and you find out you're working more than you're supposed to be working, or let me say you're not allowed to work and you worked, you could get in trouble.
Wow.
That's you have to always check. If you are trying to get a part-time job, you have to check in with the school, you have to let them know. And sometimes I think it has to be like within the school or something like that. It depends again. But then I know that as an F1 student, you're not allowed to work 40 hours.
Wow. Now, the second to the last question. What will you recommend for people seeking scholarship? Will you tell them to apply for scholarship or just pay full tuition if they can afford it?
Well, I would definitely advise you to get scholarships. The good thing is, if you do get an admission, most of these schools will usually give you a scholarship in form of tuition discount. But they also have lot of scholarships. So if you're applying to any school, you would really want to look at their tuition fees and scholarship page. It usually provides you with a lot of information about what scholarships are available, what the criteria are, and then you basically know if you meet up to it. It will tell you the deadlines for when to apply. So yes, I would really encourage anybody that wants to come here to, apply for scholarships. These school fees are not really cheap. So you would need as much scholarship as you can get. So yes, just make sure when you're applying, you look through their tuition fee and scholarship pages and see. You get those information there. They usually give you a lot of information about those. So you just need to find what works for you. And then, check out different schools. See what scholarship, who gives the most scholarship, and maybe you want to go there. But then if you do have the money to pay your tuition and you really do not need a scholarship, you could also do that as well.
Okay, so this is the last and final question, quite sensitive. But can you give us 5 top schools that you will recommend that give very good scholarship to immigrants, especially those from our country?
Okay, so this one is going to be hard because, well, personally, I did not apply to a lot of schools. And secondly, your application depends on what part or what state you want to be in. So that will also determine where you would go and what school you'd apply to. So what I would recommend is take some time to do some research, about top schools that you'd want to consider in places you would like to be. And you should be able to find what schools give what. Also, some schools may not ask you for application fee, so there's no harm applying to several and getting the best scholarship you can get that you're able to find. But they're really good schools. My school is a very prestigious school. It's a really good school. It's a very good school. It's one of the famous ones. So, if you want to go to Harvard,
do you want to give a shout out to your school?
Huh?
I said, do you want to give a shout out to your school?
Oh yes, Loyola Law School, Loyola Marymount University, Los Angeles. It's a really good school. Their quality of education is top notch. Everything is as it should. So yes, it's a very good school. And yes, they do give scholarship. But when I applied, I got a $20,000 scholarship from them. So, like I said, it usually comes in form of a school fee discount. So let's say like they give you 20,000 scholarship, they'll divide it into two, and it'll be like a school fees deduction from each of your semester. So let me say you're supposed to pay 60,000 and you already have 20,000 in scholarship. So that means in your first semester, when you're supposed to pay 30,000, there'll be like minus 10,000 and you have 20,000 left to pay. So it really just depends. Like I said, researching depends on what you want. If you want to focus on a particular area, I did general LLM. I took classes in civil procedure, evidence, entertainment law, patent law, and some people want to have concentrations. They want to study tax law or, have a fixed concentration. I did not have a fixed concentration. So it depends. Those are the things that actually influence your choice of school and where you want to go. So like I said, it depends on you. What do you want? Do you want to do business law for your master's degree? Then yes, you want to find schools that offer business law for LLM. And then you want to compare the prices of these schools. Most times you do not know what amount of scholarship they'll give to you. You want to compare what scholarship each school has available. If you make all of those comparisons, you are able to then decide what school would best suit your need. It's like weighing all your options correctly. You don't just want to do my master's and just jump on the nearest school. Yes, you have to take out time, do researches. We are not buoyant, which applies to a lot of us. You just want to go to a school that the school fee is something that you can work your way through. You want to consider states that you also want to consider the states. California is a very expensive state. So you want to look at all of those things. What's the cost of living in this place? You have to factor everything in because you're coming to somewhere new, very far away from home. You don't want to come in blind. So
exactly.
You don't want to come in blind. You want to at least,
have a research.
Know what you're looking at. So as far as the school goes, I would say research. You know what you want to do, you know what you want to study. Research. Find out schools that offer what you're looking for. Find out how much they charge for offering what you're looking for. Find out what scholarship they have for what you're looking for. And then you want to compare all of those different schools. At least if you look at 3 to 5 schools.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then of course, like I said, it's safer to apply to several. If you apply to several and see what they all offer you, if they all give you admissions, then you work with that. So yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Barrister Tessie, for coming on the channel. Thank you so much. Everyone, give a shout out to Barrister Tessie in the comment section. Thank you. This session was really insightful, and I know you have a very busy and tight schedule. I know how many times you have to reschedule, but thank God that we finally made this possible. So please, guys, give a shout out to Barrister Tessie, and don't forget to like this video, share with your friends, and comment down below. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.